Welcome everyone to another powerful and soul-stirring story that will touch your heart and awaken your spirit. Tell me one thing honestly. When you want to celebrate a birthday, when your exam results come out well, when your friends come over for a sleepover, when your boss finally gives you a day off, or when you just had a breakup and want to eat your emotions, what's the first thing you think of? Yes, Domino's pizza. The smell of hot cheese, the sound of the doorbell. The feeling of opening that red and blue box and that first bite. So crispy, so soft, so cheesy, it's not just pizza. It's an emotion, but let me ask you something. Do you know the man who gave us all this? Do you know the real story behind Domino's? Let me tell you something that will shock you. Domino's sells over 3 million pizzas every single day. That means while you're watching this video, someone just ordered a pizza and now another one and another one. The brand is now worth over $20 billion. Yes, billion with a B. But it didn't start with billions. It started with a boy who had nothing, not money, not a father, not even proper food. But he had one thing that changed everything. A dream. This story will not only inspire you, it will push you, shake you, and wake up the fire inside you. It will teach you how to build something from nothing and how to never, ever give up even when the whole world gives up on you. So sit back, relax, and keep watching till the very end. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, because this is not just an English story. This is a story that can change your life. Part 1: The Little Boy Who Had Nothing. Our story begins in a small town called Ann Arbor in Michigan, USA. On March 25th, 1937, a baby boy was born. His name was Tom Monaghan. No one knew then that this baby would one day feed millions of people across the world. But Tom's life was not easy. In fact, it was full of pain right from the beginning. When Tom was just 4 years old, something terrible happened. His father, who worked as a carpenter, suddenly died. Tom was too young to understand, but his world changed forever. His mother, a hard-working nurse, tried her best to raise him, but she was heartbroken, poor, and alone. She didn't have enough money or time to take care of Tom properly, so she made the hardest decision of her life. She sent little Tom to a Catholic orphanage run by nuns. He was only 6 years old, just imagine it. A small boy taken away from his home. No toys, no family hugs, no warm bedtime stories, only rules, discipline, silence, and loneliness. He lived there for 6 long years. 6 years of cold food, hand-me-down clothes, and strict prayers. But those years did something special to Tom. They made him tough, they made him hungry. Not just for food, but for success. Even as a child, Tom dreamed of becoming rich. Not for luxury, but to feel safe, strong, and free as he grew up. He worked many small jobs just to survive. He delivered newspapers, cleaned houses, and worked in restaurants. At times, he had to wear the same clothes for weeks. But he never complained. He was learning something powerful. How to work hard, how to hustle, how to build himself. He once dreamed of becoming an architect. So he applied to the University of Michigan. But after just a few months, he dropped out. Why? Because he couldn't afford the fees. He didn't have books. He didn't have a proper place to stay. Some people would give up there, but not Tom. Instead of crying, he stood up and said, "I'll find another way." And guess what he did? He joined the United States Marine Corps. one of the toughest military forces in the world. That's where he learned real discipline, waking up at 5 a.m. doing 100 push-ups a day, surviving extreme training. But he also learned something more valuable: the power of never giving up. After serving in the Marines, Tom came back home. Part 2. The birth of Domino's. When Tom Monahan returned from the Marines, he had no job, no money, and no degree. But he had something even more powerful: an unstoppable desire to build a better life. One day in 1960, something unexpected happened. Tom's brother James Monaghan heard about a small pizza store for sale in Ypsilanti, Michigan. It was called Domino's Pizza, a tiny old pizza place near a college campus. It wasn't famous, it wasn't rich, but it had something special: potential. The owner wanted to sell it for $900. Now $900 may not sound like much today, but back in 1960, it was a big deal, especially for the poor brothers with nothing in their pockets. But Tom didn't walk away. He borrowed $900. He didn't have the money himself. He borrowed it from a loan shark with high interest. That means if the business failed, he wouldn't just lose money. He could be in serious debt. But Tom took the risk. He believed in the idea. He believed in the store more than anything. He believed in himself. So Tom and his brother James officially bought Domino's Pizza. At first it was a tiny shop. Only one store, only one oven, only one car for delivery. Tom worked day and night. He didn't hire anyone. He was the staff. He made the dough. He cut the vegetables. He baked the pizza. He cleaned the kitchen, and when an order came, he would deliver it himself. There were days when he didn't sleep. There were nights when he couldn't afford proper food. Sometimes he ate leftover pizza just to fill his stomach. But Tom didn't care, because every pizza he delivered, every smile he saw gave him strength. His dream was becoming real. But soon there was a problem. His brother James didn't want to continue. James said, "Tom, this is too hard. I want to go back to my old job." So Tom did something unbelievable. He gave his brother his only delivery car, a Volkswagen Beetle, in exchange for full control of the business. Just imagine that. Now Tom had no car, but 100% of the business. He started delivering pizzas on foot or asked friends for help, even when it rained, even when it snowed. He never stopped. Now this is the moment where most people give up. No car, no sleep, no savings, but not Tom. He said, "I will build the best pizza delivery company the world has ever seen." And slowly he began to change everything. There was one day when something happened that changed the entire direction of his business. Tom's staff had the day off, and Tom was left all alone in the store. Now most business owners might have thought, "I'll close up for the day. It's my only chance to rest." But not Tom. He had no choice. He had to keep going. So what did he do? He put on his delivery cap and delivered every pizza himself, every single pizza. You might think this was just another busy day, but it wasn't. This was a game changer. Tom discovered something extraordinary that day. Customers loved the fast delivery. They didn't care who delivered the pizza, as long as it was quick and hot. So he made a rule: 30 minutes or it's free. Yes, he promised that if a customer didn't get their pizza in 30 minutes, they could keep it for free. And guess what? People loved it. Orders started increasing. Tom worked faster, his team worked harder. People loved the idea of getting their pizza delivered quickly, and the thought of it being free if it was late made it even better. The word spread fast. And soon Domino's started getting way more orders than before. In fact, their sales shot up by 40% in the first year after launching this rule. People were excited to order from a place that promised fast delivery, and they didn't want to miss out on the chance of getting free pizza if it wasn't on time. This rush of orders forced Domino's to figure out how to handle everything efficiently. They needed more drivers, faster routes, and a way to prepare the pizzas quicker. Before the rule, it would take about 45 minutes on average to get a pizza. But once they set the 30-minute promise, they managed to bring that time down to 30 minutes. This was a game changer. Customers were getting their pizza faster than ever before, and that made them even happier. With all these extra orders, Domino's started making a lot more money. By the 1970s, they were raking in about $40 million in revenue. Fast forward to the 1980s, and they were pulling in over $100 million annually. This was a massive jump from their humble beginnings, and it was all thanks to that one simple promise. But it wasn't just about the money. Domino's became the leader in the pizza delivery market. They managed to capture 45% of the pizza delivery market at the US, leaving their competitors in the dust. And it didn't stop there. Thanks to their success in the US, they took their business global, opening stores in countries like Canada, Japan, and the UK. They became the first global pizza delivery chain, and their reputation for fast delivery helped them stand out everywhere they went. One of the best decisions Domino's made was to start franchising. This allowed them to expand quickly without having to manage every store themselves. By the late 1980s, Domino's had over 2,000 stores around the world. But there was another problem. The original owner of the store, Dominic, didn't want Tom to use the same name anymore. So in 1965, Tom had to come up with a new name for his growing business. One day, one of his delivery boys came with an idea. He said, "Why not call it Domino's?" Tom liked it. It was simple, easy to say, easy to remember. And the logo, a domino tile with 3 dots, one for each of the first 3 stores. Tom said, "One day we'll have so many stores, we won't have enough space for all the dots." And he was right, because from that moment, Domino's was born. He didn't just open more stores. He created a pizza delivery revolution. Other pizza shops were slow, but Domino's was fast. Others made complicated menus, but Domino's kept it simple. Pizza, garlic bread, and soda. Tom's strategy was simple but powerful. Focus on delivery, focus on speed, focus on customer satisfaction. Tom Monaghan was finally growing Domino's. Then one day, boom. Illegal shock, he got sued for $75,000. That's like getting hit by a truck when you're already crawling uphill. But why? What happened? Here's the simple truth. Years ago, when Domino's was just starting out, Tom had a business partner named Jim Gilmore. Now Jim had bad credit. That means banks and landlords didn't trust him. So Jim said, "Tom, please, can you sign all the papers under your name? Lease agreements, store deals, everything." Tom, being kind and desperate to grow, said yes. He thought they were a team. He trusted Jim, so everything was under Tom's name, even stores that Jim owned and operated. But after some time, Jim wanted out. So they made a deal. Tom would keep his stores, and Jim would take to Domino stores as his part. Tom agreed. Then months later, disaster. Jim's stores failed. He couldn't manage them. They shut down. But guess what? Because Tom's name was still on all the legal papers, the court came after Tom even though the failed stores were no longer his, even though he didn't run them anymore, even though the problems weren't his fault. He was legally responsible. The court said, "Tom, your name is on the contracts, so you owe all the money, your $75,000. That's the truth, simple. Brutal, unfair." Tom was shocked, angry, but he didn't cry, he didn't hide, he didn't give up, he didn't go bankrupt. He said, "I will fight. I will survive, I will fix this with my own hands." So he worked day and night, not just to make pizzas, but to pay off that horrible debt. He begged landlords, made deals, found someone to take over the leases, and slowly, step by step, he paid it all back. No shortcuts, no excuses. That court case almost destroyed him, but instead it made him stronger, smarter, and unbreakable. From that day, he learned never put your name on something unless you control it. That pain became power. Domino's was no longer a small pizza shop. It was a national empire. There were hundreds of stores across the United States. The company had become a symbol of success, of smart thinking, of fast delivery, and hungry college students happily munching on pepperoni pizzas. Every city wanted a Domino's. Every business magazine wanted to interview Tom. People started calling him the Pizza King. But in the middle of all that praise, something dangerous started happening. Tom began to believe he was invincible. He was no longer just focused on pizza. He started chasing other dreams, expensive dreams. He bought a private jet. He built a huge house with gold-plated sinks. He collected rare books, famous cars, and even tried to buy the Detroit Tigers baseball team. Yes, the same man who once had nothing was now spending like a millionaire rock star. And here's the big lesson. When you stop focusing on your foundation, everything starts shaking. Tom stopped paying close attention to the Domino's stores. He believed everything would keep growing automatically. But business doesn't work like that. Just because you're at the top doesn't mean you'll stay there. Soon the company began facing problems. The first issue was overexpansion. Tom opened too many stores too fast, in places where people didn't even want Domino's. The quality of service dropped. Deliveries became late. Customers began complaining. Then came the legal cases. That 30-minute delivery promise. Get it in 30 minutes or it's free. It led to accidents. Delivery boys drove dangerously fast just to meet the 30-minute goal. One accident led to a massive lawsuit, and Domino's had to pay millions of dollars in damages. That one promise, which had once made them famous, now became a heavy burden. But the worst part was this death. Tom had borrowed money to grow faster. He owed banks, investors, lenders. The interest kept rising. There was a time when Domino's was losing $1 million a day. Yes, every single day. Tom tried to fix it. He worked long hours again. He sold his luxury cars. He even sold his private jet. But it was too late. The fire was already burning. Then in 1989, tragedy struck again. One of the Domino's headquarters caught fire. Valuable documents were lost. Machines destroyed. The team was shaken. But still Tom didn't stop. He rebuilt, reinvested, rehired, but the pressure was too much. Tom was now nearly 60 years old. His health was declining. The dream that once gave him wings was now crushing his soul. And one night, alone in his office, Tom sat at his desk staring at a picture of his mother, the woman who had worked as a maid to raise him and his brother, the woman who never gave up even when life was unfair. And in that moment, Tom made a decision that shocked the business world. In 1998, Tom Monaghan sold 93% of Domino's to a private equity firm called Bain Capital, led by Mitt Romney. The deal was worth $1 billion. Yes, the man who once had no food to eat now had $1 billion. But more than that, he had peace. Tom used that money not for luxuries, but for building churches, helping charities, and funding education. He said, "I am not the owner of Domino's anymore, but I'm still the guy who built it from nothing. That means everything to me." The world watched with respect, because Tom had done something very rare in the business world. He had admitted his mistakes. He had taken the fall, but he had done it with grace, dignity, and courage. He stepped back, and Domino's was about to rise even higher without him. Part 3. The Big Comeback: How Domino's Became a Global Giant Again. After Tom Monaghan stepped away from Domino's in 1998, many people thought the story was over. They believed the brand had already seen its golden days. Domino's was struggling, the stores were outdated. The taste was not improving. Competitors like Papa John's and Pizza Hut were getting stronger. Domino's had fallen behind. Sales were dropping slowly. Customers were not excited anymore. And in the age of the internet, one bad review could spread across the world in minutes. Domino's was still running, but it had lost its soul. But in 2010, something unbelievable happened. Something no one expected. The new CEO, Patrick Doyle, decided to do something that most companies would never dare to do. He admitted to the world that Domino's pizza was bad. Yes, he literally said, "We know our pizza isn't good enough. The crust tastes like cardboard. The sauce is like ketchup. The cheese is boring." That moment was shocking. Who admits something like that on national TV? But Patrick Doyle had a plan that would change Domino's forever. He said, "We are going to throw out our old recipe. We are going to listen to our customers. We are going to start again." And that's exactly what they did. Domino's spent millions of dollars on research. They brought in chefs, food scientists, and marketing experts. They tested different sauces, experimented with cheeses, played with spices, and redesigned the crust from scratch. They created a completely new pizza, one that was rich in flavor, had a golden crispy crust, and melted in your mouth. But they didn't stop there. They changed their kitchens. They upgraded their ovens. They started using fresh ingredients. They even changed the look of their pizza boxes to reflect freshness and fun. And here's the part that makes it even more powerful. Domino's showed everything openly. They made videos where they read bad reviews from customers, and then they responded by saying, "We hear you and we're fixing it." This honesty touched people's hearts. People started giving Domino's another chance, and when they tasted the new pizza, they were shocked. This is Domino's. The new taste was so good that it became the most talked about food brand of the year. Sales went through the roof. In just 1 year, Domino's stock price doubled. In 5 years, it increased more than 2,000%. Let that sink in, 2,000%. That kind of growth is almost impossible in business. But Domino's did it by doing the simple things, accepting their weakness and fixing it with honesty and hard work. And then they did something even more brilliant. They became a tech company. Yes, a pizza company became a technology leader. They created one of the first pizza ordering apps. They introduced voice ordering before Amazon. Alexa became popular. They allowed customers to track their pizza from the oven to your doorstep with real-time updates. They used AI, robots, and even self-driving cars to deliver pizzas in some cities. Domino's was no longer just a pizza company. It became a technology-driven experience, and the world was amazed. They also changed their stores. The design became modern, clean, and welcoming. They added open kitchens, where customers could watch their pizza being made. They made delivery faster, safer, and more reliable, and most importantly, they kept improving. Even when they were at the top again, Domino's didn't relax. They kept listening to customers. They launched new items like pasta, cheesy bread, lava cakes, and chicken wings. They adapted to every trend. They entered more than 90 countries. Today, Domino's delivers more than 3 million pizzas every single day, across 20,000 plus stores worldwide. And the current net worth of Domino's, more than $15 billion. Let that number inspire you. A company that was almost dead, that was laughed at for its taste, that was called cardboard pizza. Today it is worth billions. All because one leader decided to accept the truth and rebuild from scratch. This part of the story teaches us something powerful. Success is not about never falling. It's about rising every time you fall. It's about honesty, growth, courage, and change. Domino's didn't give up when it was drowning. It chose to swim harder. And now it's one of the biggest food brands on earth. After Domino's transformed itself from a falling brand into a global pizza empire, people started asking, how did they do it? Was it luck? Was it money? Was it timing? No, it was vision. It was courage to accept mistakes. It was commitment to improvement. And it was the fire to keep going when everything was falling apart. But if we look deeper, this story is not just about a pizza company. It is about one man, one dream, and the unbreakable willpower behind it all. Tom Monaghan. Let's go back for a moment. This man was born poor. He lost his mother to illness. He was raised in an orphanage. He had nothing, no money, no father, no help. He delivered newspapers to earn a few cents. He joined the Marines to survive. He borrowed $900 to buy a failing pizza shop. And from that tiny little place in Michigan, with no big investors, no brand name, no experience, he built something that would one day become a $15 billion company, serving millions of people every single day. And here's the most amazing part. Tom never gave up, even when he had no employees. Even when his first store caught fire. Even when he lost his wife's car in a bad business deal. Even when he was in deep debt and people told him to quit. He believed in hard work, in serving people, and in staying humble. Tom never ran after luxury in the beginning. For years he worked 18 hours a day. 7 days a week he made the pizzas, delivered them, cleaned the kitchen, and managed the money all by himself. And when he finally became successful, he didn't just keep the money for himself. He gave millions of dollars to schools, hospitals, churches, and charities. He started foundations to help poor children, because he never forgot how it felt to be poor and alone. You see, success is not just about money. True success is about how many people you lift up with you. True success is about impact, about legacy. And Domino's didn't just become a brand. It became a symbol of what's possible when you refuse to quit. Today, Domino's operates in over 90 countries with more than 20,000 stores. They have created hundreds of thousands of jobs around the world. Their technology is world-class. Their delivery system is lightning fast. Their brand is trusted by millions. But behind this giant company, there's still one powerful message. Start small, dream big. Work hard, stay honest. Never give up, and let me tell you something real. If a poor boy from an orphanage can build an empire from a $900 loan, what is stopping you no matter how many problems you have? No matter how many people laugh at your dreams? No matter how small your beginning is? Your story is not over, your journey has just started. If you're sitting somewhere today, maybe in a small room, maybe with no money, maybe surrounded by problems, and you're wondering, can I ever become something? Let me tell you something from the heart, yes. Yes, you can. Because dreams don't belong only to the rich. Dreams don't come true only for the lucky. Dreams come true for those who never stop believing, even when the whole world says you can't. Look at the story you just heard. Tom Monaghan didn't have a powerful family. He didn't have connections. He didn't have a big degree. He had only one thing, a burning desire to change his life. And that one thing, that fire inside him, was enough to move mountains. So if you have a dream, protect it. If you want to build something, build it even if it takes years. If you want to rise, rise even if you have to fall 100 times before. Because the people who change the world are not the ones who had everything. They're the ones who did everything they could with what they had. Maybe right now your life is full of pain. Maybe people don't believe in you. Maybe you're tired, broke, stressed, broken. But remember this, diamonds are made under pressure. Stars shine in the darkest nights. Winners are built in silence. Every great success story begins in a place of struggle. And every struggle has the power to turn into a miracle, but only if you keep going. Don't wait for perfect timing. Don't wait for money. Don't wait for someone to believe in you. Believe in yourself first. Take the first step. Start small. Work quietly. Learn every day. Fall. Get back up and repeat again and again and again. Because success does not come overnight. It comes when you give everything you have, even on the days you feel like giving up. And one day you will look back and smile. You will say, I made it. I really made it, just like Tom. Just like Domino's, just like every warrior who refused to quit. So wherever you are, whatever you are facing, your story is not over. You are just getting started. Don't just dream big, fight for your dream. Work for it, cry for it. Get up and give it everything. Because you, yes, you are capable of doing something the world has never seen before. And when that day comes, the world will know your name just like it knows Domino's today. If this story touched your heart, if it made you believe in yourself again, if you're ready to take control of your life, then like this video, share this story, and subscribe to the channel. Because this is not just entertainment, this is a movement. This is for the fighters, this is for you. Now go and create your own success story.